This is my audience. Alrighty.
Yay, O'Neal.
Hello, my name is O'Neal Delapenha, and I'm here today to inform all of you how Spider-Man is the best superhero of all time. First of all, Spider-Man is the best superhero of all time because the Spider-Man movies are the top grossing superhero movies franchise of all time. And that is according to MojoBoxOfficeTickets.com. You can look it up. Next, I would like to point out the fact that Spider-Man is still popular over 40 years. Now, Spider-Man first debuted in 1962 in the comic book Spider-Man: The Amazing Adventures of, last name first, of course, and it was created by comic book legend Stan Lee. Next, I would like to say that Spider-Man is the only superhero to ever have a Broadway musical made after him. Currently, right now, Broadway just opened up Spider-Man: Return of the Dark, which, according to Broadway.com, is the most expensive musical ever produced. So, Spider-Man is pretty amazing, if you have to ask me. And lastly, I'd like to point out that Spider-Man has the #1 comic book sales of any superhero ever produced. Now, many of you will think that Superman or maybe even Batman is better, but no. It's all about Spider-Man. Also, I'd like to point out one of the reasons why people say Spider-Man is so popular is because he's an everyday kind of guy. He's not a god, he's not a legend like some of these other superheroes out there. Spider-Man is just an average guy who just happens to be smart and got bit by a radioactive spider. He's still not that great with the girls. He's puny in appearance and he's kind of nerdy. But he gets the job done, and he's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and he gets the job done. He's a superhero, he's amazing. And lastly, I'd like to point out that Spider-Man, unlike, say, Superman or Batman or some other no-name superheroes, Spider-Man gets the girl. Batman, no. Superman, no, it's lame, not really. But Mary Jane and Spider-Man, they end up hooking up, which is awesome. Which makes Spider-Man even more the man than anybody else can ever claim he isn't. So in conclusion, I'd like to point out that Spider-Man is the best superhero because he's still popular after 40 years. He has the #1 comic book sales of all superheroes. He has the top grossing superhero movie franchise ever in history. And of course, he's the only superhero to ever have a show on Broadway.